Students of class 10, and dear student, today topic is transportation. On the transportation, you will learn this question answer session by reviewing the diagram. Dear student, these are the tracheids present in the xylem. These are the tracheids present in the xylem while studying the transportation in plants. This is the important one. That is the lignified wall. That is having the lignified wall, so that it will be the more strong. And dear student, here you are looking the xylem vessels. Xylem vessels, that is the torus having the rim of the bordered pit, and these are the perforations in the ending wall. So this is the xylem vessels, and these xylem vessels are perforated bordered pits. So you have a look on this. This is the root hair, diagram of the root hair, by which the root hair get dipped into the soil, and by this the water get absorbed in the root hairs, and by which it flow into the associated cells and it go into the xylem vessels. This is the xylem vessels. So this is the path of the transportation of water in the plant body. Dear students, you are looking here the diagram that water get absorbed from the plant's roots and going unidirectionally to the upside and up to the leaves for the process of the metabolic processes in the plant body, as well as for the manufacturing of food. And transportation of food is called translocation. Translocation means the equal distribution of food wherever that is required in the plant body. So dear students, here you are looking here the structure of sieve tubes. Sieve tubes are the responsible for the selection of the required component of food in different parts in the phloem, in different parts of the plant body, which get carried out by the phloem. And this sieve tube is so important. So the mechanism, as you have already studied here. And transportation in human, if you see the transportation in human, then there will be the first thing, that is the blood. Blood cells are of different types, what you have seen in the videos: erythrocyte, leukocyte, and blood platelets, RBC, WBC, and blood platelets. So hemoglobin are found in the RBC. Leukocytes are the warrior cells. And the second, that is the blood vessels. Blood vessels are of two types: arteries and veins. Blue color you are looking here, that is the vein carrying deoxygenated blood. And red color, that is carrying the oxygenated blood, which is in red color. The wall is thick of the artery. Arteries are having thick wall, and complete transportation system in the human body is like this. That is starting from the heart and going to different parts of the body, right in the brain, arms and legs also. So after understanding these diagrammatic representation, you will be able to answer all types of the questions, dear students. This is the third one, that is the heart. So this is the third component of the blood vascular system in human. See this is the right atrium, this is the inferior vena cava, this is the broader vein, this is the superior vena cava, this is the left atrium, right atrium, left atrium, left ventricle and right ventricle. So this is the outline diagram, and these are the blood supply, blood capillary blood supply to the heart muscles. So dear student, internally you are looking here that this is the blood flow inside the heart. So you will see this flow chart in the already you have seen this in the my video, so there is no need to have a review of the double circulation, structure of the artery and vein in transverse section. Artery and veins get united as the capillary, blood capillary in the lungs, in the kidneys like this. Lung and kidneys are having this net-like structure where these get connected. Now dear students, this is the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system means the lymphatic vessels, they are responsible for the supply of the fat in different parts of the body, as well as the production of the different types of the lymphocytes for the and WBC for the protection of our body from the pathogens. So the questions based on this are the sample questions. Sample questions like that what are the advantages of having four-chambered heart. So in four-chambered heart, left half is completely separated from the right half by septa. This prevents the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from the mixing. This allows a highly efficient supply of oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. This is useful in animals that have high energy needs, such as birds and mammals. So dear students, you can solve the sample questions that is given in your book in the way that if you understand the diagrammatic representation what that is available in this video. And now come to next, that is the practice questions. So by solving the practice questions, you will be able to answer the questions. Dear student, a student placed a plant with its roots in a beaker of water containing a red dye. After 10 minutes, the veins in the leaves of the plant become red. Explain why the veins of the leaves become red. My dear student, the dye, this get absorbed along with the water in the plant xylem, and that is the unidirectional flow. So this, it will get red because of the flow of this red dye in the plant leaves. Second, the student then cut the stem of the plant at X. If this plant get cut, then at this point, then what happened? The appearance of the cut stem seen through a microscope is as shown in the diagram, like this. This is the cut part, and in the diagram above, mark the region that would appear red. Then this part will be appear red after the cut. After the cut, it will be appear as red. Explain why ventricle have thick muscular wall than the atria. My dear friend, ventricle perform the function of the contraction of the heart so that the blood gets supplied into the either into the lung or into the different parts of the body. So ventricle perform high blood pressure, that is why it is having the thick wall. This will come to the next, that is this diagram is given here. This is the sectional view, longitudinal sectional view of the heart, and observe the diagram and label the diagram. This will be the RT, RA, this will be the LA, and this will be the RLA. This will be the LV, LA and RV. So dear students, you can label it. This will be the dorsal aorta. It will be the dorsal aorta, DA. This will be the pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, PV, both, and this will be the pulmonary PV, and it will be the superior vena cava. This will be the inferior vena cava, IV. And these are the valves: bicuspid, tricuspid, semilunar and pulmonary valve. This is the pulmonary valve, PV, semilunar, SV. This is the bicuspid, and this is the tricuspid valve. So you can label this like this. Name the valve separating the left atrium from the left ventricle. It will be the tricuspid valve. Make flow the blood in the heart using the arrows. So blood will come here. From here it will go here, and this will flow into the lung. Then from lung it is coming here. Then after that it is going to the aorta and different parts of the body. Dear students, which chamber of the heart receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs? This left atrium is responsible for the receiving of the blood that is oxygenated from the lung. 4. Why blood circulation in the human heart called double circulation? Because it once it flow in the lungs, then after it flow to the lungs from the heart, then from the lungs is coming to the heart and going to the different parts of the body. So one is pulmonary circulation and there is the systemic circulation. There should come to next, that is the describe the flow of the blood through the heart of the human being. So this is the description that you can describe in the writing way, that the flow of the blood from that is coming by the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava in the right atrium, then going to the right ventricle, and then it is going to the lung. From lung it is coming, and the left atrium, from left atrium going to the left ventricle, and from left ventricle it is going to the dorsal aorta and different parts of the body. So my dear students, these are some practice questions that is based on this. And apart from these circulation of the blood, you have to think something about the different types of the lymphatic nodes. So lymph, that is responsible for the producing B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte, that is for the maintaining our immune system, acquired immune system. So dear students, you can learn this by this. And last but not least, the blood pressure. My dear student, the blood pressure is of two types, that is systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure means the blood pumped from the left ventricle, that is having the high blood pressure, so that the blood goes to the different parts of the body. That will be the systolic, and it will be the 120. It will be the 120. While diastolic pressure, that is the incoming of the blood in the right atrium, and this pressure will be the 80. This pressure will be the 80. So this systolic and diastolic pressure, it form the blood pressure of human. One is contraction of the heart and there is the relaxation of the heart. Systole is the contraction of the ventricle and diastole is the relaxation of the atrium, which is producing lub-dub sound by closing and opening of the heart valves, different valves. So dear students, these are some questions, and I hope that you will be able to learn these questions with the help of the complete review of the diagrams, and further in the examination you will be able to score the high marks. Thank you very much.